Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good day. My name is Roz Azinur binti Cik Lamin. I am from Faculty of Pharmacy, UITM campus, UITM Cawangan Pulau Pinang campus Batam. Today I'm very glad to present to you our paperwork on the early management of Alzheimer disease or AD in risk reducing among elderly in Asia. This is a systematic review, and I also glad to present our paperwork in this fourth International Research Conference on Multidisciplinary in Social Science and Technology 2021. I would like to start this presentation with the abstract. There have been numerous studies on Alzheimer's disease or AD. However, the review paper on early care for reducing the risk of AD in elderly in Asia were relatively limited. This systematic literature review focused on physical activities and dietary intake in reducing AD risk among the Asian elderly. The article reviewing process from the three databases such as PubMed, Web of Science and also Scopus was based on the PRISMA guideline. As a result, 10 articles were matched for both criteria. 7 articles with total number of 38,726 participants focused on the healthy diet. Meanwhile, the other 3 studies involve physical activities with a total of 29,999 participants. From this review process, a diet rich in vegetables, fruit, and dairy products were found may assist all the people in maintaining cognitive function. Physical activity can enhance the cerebral blood flow, slow cognitive loss, and impact neurophysiological process and lowering the beta amyloid protein synthesis in Alzheimer's disease. In conclusion, the early stage of Alzheimer's disease, a combination of high on antioxidant and exercise for neuroprotection was required for early management of AD risk reducing among elderly in Asia. What is Alzheimer's disease? Alzheimer's disease or AD is a type of neurodegenerative disorder mainly in the elderly, around 65-year-old folks and above. This type of disease can cause the increment of beta amyloid or known as amyloid beta plaques and tau phosphorylation and also the neurofibril tangles or NFT in the brain. This condition can affect the brain as it slowly kills the brain cell and decrease the number of neurotransmitters. As a result, it can cause the person to experience the cognitive decline such as dementia, loss of memory, reasoning difficulties, and unpredictable behavior. The brain cell is slowly dying due to this condition and limit the number of neurotransmitters to be transferred in the brain. According to the World Health Organization, the number of dementia patients was expected to increase significantly from 23 million in 2015 and almost 71 million by 2050. While in Asia, the number of people suffering from AD has become a significant concern as about 4.6 million new cases of dementia are reported every year, with the highest growth projection in Asia in its Asian neighborhood. The high prevalence of AD in this region has triggered the Asian community to take the initiative by conducting some management on reducing the risk of AD at an early stage. Therefore, many non-pharmacological management conducted by the elderly, especially in Asia region, were studied as if some of this management may or can prevent the risk of AD or cognitive decline. Interestingly, several studies have shown that non-pharmacological management, such as physical exercise and healthy diet, can potentially reduce the AD in elderly in the early stage. However, numerous studies on effectiveness of physical exercise and diet need to be deeply discussed since the study may differ in approach. Therefore, this review study explores the physical exercise and diet management strategies conducted among the elderly in Asia on the delay or prevent of the risk AD at the early stage. For the method and material, this systematic literature review was conducted based on PRIMA guideline and 3 databases on subject was used. First is the PubMed, second is the Web of Science, lastly is the Scopus. There are 4 main key search for this review and other relevant synonym has been used. These are the list of the inclusion and exclusion criteria. For the inclusion criteria, the period of the publishing of the article was not limited. All article review must be in English. Only randomized control trial, control studies, or experimental or cross-sectional study were allowed. Contain 2 distinct types of management, one of which have to include the diet or exercise. The primary outcome was aimed at improving cognitive function or reducing the risk of Alzheimer disease. The subjects were healthy or the individuals aged 50 years and above, and it must be conducted in Asian region. For exclusion criteria, studies that did not fit the criteria were discarded during the early screening. The study was not in English. The study did not involve healthy or the individual. Management of lifestyle. Management of lifestyle study did not focus on the improvement in cognitive function was also excluded and other than Asian region. From these 3 databases, there are about 1,319 papers have been found. After the process of the screening, only 10 papers will be included in this systematic review literature. From this 10 study, with a total of 68,725 participants, which involve 1 longitudinal study, 5 cohort study, 2 cross-sectional study, 2 observational study, and 7 studies on a healthy diet and 3 on exercise. From our review, we found that diet pattern or diet intake research by the Noguchi Shinohara et al. 2014, they found that green tea usage among the Japanese elderly considerably lowered the risk of cognitive deterioration. While the Chin et al. 2015 research in China, a cohort study was carried out on the elderly Chinese who adopted the Mediterranean diet pattern. While the Kim et al. 2015 in South Korea, they reported that most Korean elderly are practicing 3 major dietary patterns such as gluten pattern, bread, egg and dairy pattern, and white rice only pattern. For the white rice only pattern had been associated with a high risk of developing cognitive impairment due to insufficient dietary intake of micronutrients such as vitamin E, vitamin C, vitamin B, beta-carotene, and also folate. While in Taiwan, research by Chen et al. 2017, a total number of participants 475 of healthy Taiwanese elderly with an average of 95 years, they found that vegetable can protect the elderly against logical memory decline. Meat can protect against the attention decline. And for the traditional group, it has a potential to protecting the elderly against the logical memory recall loss. Okay, research by Okubo et al. 2017, they found that Japanese people consume 3 diet patterns: plant, food, and fish, rice and miso soup, and animal-based food. For the plant, food, and fish diet show the best diet as it has a significant benefit on protecting cognitive function. While study by Lee et al. 2017, this study was conducted in Hong Kong, where they found out that consuming at least 3 servings of vegetables and 2 servings of fruit daily in a midlife can help prevent the risk of dementia in the late life. And for research by the Jiang et al. 2020, higher nuts intake in an early stage of Singaporean elderly contribute to a lower risk of cognitive impairment or AD in late life. For physical activity and exercise finding, research by Lee et al. 2015, they found that the Chinese elderly who regularly engaging in aerobic and mind-body exercise had a lower risk to develop dementia. Research by Tomata et al. 2017, they found out that Japanese elderly who had a higher amount of working hour, that's mean more than 1 hour per day, had a significantly lower risk of dementia incident. And research by the Zhou et al. 2017, they found out that the Chinese elderly engaging with a regular exercise such as walking, running, playing balls, and playing game, and also exercise like a qigong, have a regular regular involved in exercise had a lower odds of the developing dementia risk. In this systematic literature review has a lot of limitation because there are no standardized method or scale for evaluating data, including participants, screening, type of study, and also the outcome. So this method would limit our review to a few Asian countries that provide the best outcome for this topic. 3 reviewers made the selection of a study. As the result, this increased the risk of bias due to complexity of the reviewing process. As the conclusion, it is essential for elderly to modifying lifestyle habit, diet pattern, and practicing physical activities over time to prevent this illness in elderly stage. Indeed, practicing a healthy diet and lifestyle have a positive impact many aging-related diseases, including the AD. So this is our reference. I would like to thank to everybody for your attention and time for this sharing session. Thank you.